everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Mommy Trisha, and in this channel you usually see me talk about parenting, breastfeeding, cooking, teaching, and veganism. So yes, if you have seen my title, it is about breastfeeding. And yes, I have just celebrated, actually I celebrated my 4 years of breastfeeding last September 2020, and I'm so happy I've reached it that far, because I didn't think that I would last until 4 years. I've just imagined me lasting like around 1 to 2 years. So if you are a self-doubter like me, always trust yourself. You can do it. You are amazing. You are wonderful. Our boobs are magical. Okay, so I have posted on my business Instagram stories, or I asked them for questions so that I can answer it here on my video. I'm celebrating 4 years of breastfeeding. Okay, so the first one is from Mika. So hi Mika, thank you. Some of these, or almost all of these people and women, these amazing women, are either my friends or my breast friends or my clients on my business page. So Mika asks, is breastfeeding after drinking beer or wine very harmful to the baby? So the answer is yes and no. So basically, if you're still just under the limit, that there is a possibility the alcohol will go to the milk supply around like maybe 5 or 2 to 5% only. So also, if you have drank that, or if you have drunk a cup or the alcohol, it'll be in your milk around like within or after 2 to 3 hours. So it's okay, it's not really like harmful, but just be careful, because it is harmful if you're too drunk and you cannot take care of the baby. So if you're planning to like breastfeed your baby and then you fell asleep on the baby, and then the baby may be harmed or maybe smothered to death, and we don't want that happening here. Wondering Toki asks, as a working mom, how do you maintain milk supply? So very easy. You just need to remember the rule is the demand and supply. So if the demand is high, the supply will be high as well. So if your body will detect that your baby needs more milk, it will make more milk. So basically, you just need to pump or hand express every 2 to 3 hours every day, every 2 to 3 hours, and I promise you your milk supply will be maintained, or it will be increased as well. So you just need to maintain that. Also, avoid toxic and negative people, just like your seatmate. I'm just joking. Keisha, my loving breast friend, she greeted me Happy New Year and she has a question as well. What did you do if you feel exhausted, and what motivated you to keep on going? Actually, I feel exhausted all the time before, but I was just being honest with myself. I am exhausted. I acknowledge my feeling. It's valid. It's not, don't shame yourself if you feel exhausted. It kept me motivated because my baby needs me. It's just maybe 2 to 4 years of your life that you can give to your baby, and then after that they don't need you anymore. They have like phases in your life, and why would you bakit may pagdadamot yung life mo or yung time mo na yun just for the sake of other reasons? So that kept me motivated. Simple as that. My child needs me, and I have ample supply of milk. That's why I want to give it to him, and that's the reason why I'm inspired and motivated to reach this far. Andrea, hi Andrea, shout out. She's my good friend. I'm with her in the Davao Mommy Bloggers. So what was the hardest part of breastfeeding? The hardest part of breastfeeding is you cannot go out and spend a night without your baby. I think that's the only hardest part. And like your baby is so dependent on you, because sometimes, I want to go out, but I have to think of the baby, make sure that there's enough supply in the freezer. So yeah, that's the only hardest part. Other than that, I'm mentally tough. And ask, ano feeling, ma'am? I'm still breastfeeding my 18 months old. Nilngig naman. It's like, cringy. It means that she may be experiencing breastfeeding aversion, meaning that you don't, you're like, you don't have that like connection or dotting feeling anymore. The way you look at baby, like, oh, she's breastfeeding, not anymore. Sometimes I do have those feelings, especially if my toddler, I think, is too big for breastfeeding. It's just like, when will you stop? That kind of like thinking, or that kind of thoughts in my head. I did go through that, and I just make sure to focus on my why and to focus on my target, to breastfeed him as long as he wants. By the way, Keisha has been my follower since she was pregnant, and now she still exclusively breastfeeds her 2-year-old baby. Oh, it's so cute, so amazing. It's just like sometimes they can speak in sentences and still breastfeeds. It's so weird. So, do you ever get tired of breastfeeding? Thoughts about just wanting to stop? Venice asked. Hi, Venice. And Nicolette, my good friend, she asked also, how do you feel about weaning? So yes, weaning is a tough topic for me, because to tell you honestly, I've been thinking of weaning Hunter when he turned 3 years old, because I think it's too much for me. I mean, I think it's like he's old enough, and I want him to focus more on solid food. But yes, weaning, you can do gentle weaning, guys. Gentle weaning is actually very, for me, psychologically better for babies, because it will not put him, or will not give him any negative thoughts about stopping to breastfeed if you gently wean him. Like, for example, minus the breastfeeding sessions during the day, and then you just give him food instead, or you play. So just gentle weaning, you can do that even for a span of 1 year. So when the time comes that he's ready, there won't be any tears, there won't be any trauma, PTSD, counseling after. So yes, just make sure to read about gentle weaning, and make sure to see what method will work for you, because other mothers did some tough weaning, like putting chili pepper on their nipples, pretending they're bleeding, they're sick. They put some Band-Aid. Some of them threatened their children. I was like, it's so traumatic for the child. So just make sure to let the child understand, or replace it with something like giving more milk instead of breastfeeding, making the baby full before saying no. So things like that. I think you can do that as well. As basta there will be support from family, from husband, support from sister, or the guardian, the helper, anything that could lessen the sadness out of the word weaning. Because for me, weaning is really sad, and it's very traumatic as well for the babies. Need to be okay. So yes, I'm really happy that a lot of mommies, I mean, there's not a lot, but there are some trusted clients and breast friends who submitted their questions, and I'm really happy I was able to answer some of those. But yes, for me, 4 years of breastfeeding is definitely a big achievement, and there are a lot of tears, a lot of anger sometimes, not just between Hunter and I, but also with my husband, with my other child. So it's like sometimes also breastfeeding does get into the way of some normal things that you're going to do with your family. So if breastfeeding isn't giving you joy anymore, or if you want to do something that breastfeeding permits you to do, it is better though to slowly wean or let baby stop. It doesn't let you grow emotionally and you're tired and you're crying all the time. Yeah, I think it's a good idea for you to slowly wean your child. Don't wait for me, don't like beat me, because I've done this for 4 years, but not it's not smooth sailing, trust me, it isn't. But yes, I assure you that with the right like goal, and if you reach your why, you will be successful if you just make sure to persevere. And again, if you just target 1 year, it's okay, no one's counting. But one thing's for sure though, after 4 years of breastfeeding, I think it helped us financially, because we don't buy formula milk anymore. And I think because of breastfeeding, the family eased into veganism faster compared to if we were still supplementing Hunter with formula milk. It eased us to veganism, and supporting plants, supporting protecting the cow industry, because I'm an advocate of breastfeeding. So I know that calves are for cows and babies are for human mothers. So that's just want to share with you some short Q&A when since I celebrated my 4 years. So maybe on my next video I will be glad to share and talk about weaning, at the same time some tips to help you guys reach your breastfeeding goals. So thank you again so much for watching. I know some of you, please don't compare yourself to my journey, because all journeys are different, and I'm really happy that I'm here to tell you guys what I've been through and share my experiences and answers to those mini question and answer. So I hope you are inspired to reach your goal as well, whatever it is. No judgment here. Thank you again. See you on my next video. Bye.